Hey everybody, what's up? Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have already seen some videos where people have talked about the supplemental draft that took place today. And apparently, some of the new draft picks to SmackDown and Raw appeared tonight. Well, SmackDown ones appeared tonight on the new show. So, let's just get into the list of who's going where, who got picked, and how I feel it's going to work out. Now, some of them I did say were going to happen. Some of them happened in ways I didn't think they would, and some didn't happen at all. So let's just get into some of these picks. Alright, the first one to go, the first one to be drafted yesterday now, because it's about 1:30 in the morning almost, 4 minutes to 1:30. But the first person to go during the Tuesday morning afternoon supplemental draft was Daniel Bryan to SmackDown. Now, I agree with what everybody has said here. Daniel Bryan on SmackDown can really benefit, because if you think about it, anytime you've had someone like a Daniel Bryan go from Raw to SmackDown, they've always benefited from being there, because they've been able to go more up, the card, if you will, even if you have somebody there that many feel is holding people down. But yeah, Daniel Bryan can really, I do agree, really can benefit for this, and I will not be surprised if we see him in the world title picture before this year is out. Now, the next pick was Jack Swagger to Monday Night Raw. Obviously, this was going to happen anyway, seeing as though Swagger's been on Raw lately with Michael Cole. How is he going to be used on Raw? I don't know. They're going to use him as a top heel, which I think would be good, or they're going to use him as possibly an upper mid card babyface, maybe soon to be top babyface. We don't know, but right now, if they keep him as a heel, that's probably going to be the best option, because he could be a top heel on Raw for them. All right, the third pick of the night. The third pick of the afternoon, morning on Tuesday was Great Khali and Rajin Singh to SmackDown. Not many people are happy. Not many people care about this, but this also but in a way, this kind of helps fill the void of the Giant, if you will, on SmackDown, because Big Show's now on Raw. Jimmy Uso is drafted to SmackDown. We later find out that his brother Jey Uso will also be drafted to SmackDown. So both Uso brothers are on SmackDown, but we also find out later down the line that Tamina, the on-screen girlfriend of Santino, the one that made her debut with the Usos, is also on SmackDown, so maybe they'll reunite the three there, and we'll see what occurs. Now, besides that, we have Kelly Kelly to Raw. Now, Kelly Kelly, many people feel could really benefit maybe from this, because she gets a strong reaction from the crowd. She's very likable, and maybe she can benefit in a way. Maybe, I'm willing to accept. I'm willing to accept the fact that Karam, when she gets there, Karam or Kong as we know her, gets there. I'll accept maybe the fact that if you want to make an average diva look believable against her, someone that you look at a diva and you say, oh, she'll get destroyed by this woman, I believe Kelly Kelly could be that diva that you want to make sort of like the David of the Divas division, sort of like the David versus the Goliath, or the Danielle versus Goliath, or Karam in this case. So you get the idea. It's about make her in that hero position. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Obviously, fans know that Gail Kim and Beth Phoenix can really duke it out with the likes of Karam or Kong, whatever you want to call it. But I'm definitely saying this right now. Kelly Kelly, I truly think, could really be made believable as the David or Danielle versus Danielle of the Divas division in a Goliath kind of situation. So I really think she can benefit with that. But I think she's really going to benefit from going to SmackDown. I mean, not SmackDown, but to Raw. She can really benefit going to Raw. JTG going to Raw. Now, some people don't really care about this. Some people feel that he won't last. In fact, they feel he's probably going to go bye-bye after. I believe there's a reason he's going to Raw. You got R-Truth, who just recently turned heel. You need somebody that could probably relate with R-Truth in some ways. So why not have JTG probably be that person? Now, if they keep him a face, then they keep him as a mid-card face. That's no big deal. But you got to remember one thing. The reason JTG has not been let go is just like R-Truth was. He's over with the fans. That's right. JTG is still over with the fans. So, in some capacity. So, if they do keep him on, they might turn him heel and associate him with R-Truth. But then again, they might just, keep him as a mid-card babyface. Maybe at least give him a run at the secondary title, which I believe is going to be the U.S. title very, very soon. I'll get into that in a minute. Alicia Fox, drafted to SmackDown, I think can benefit the SmackDown, can definitely, well, let's just put it this way, she can definitely help out a little bit in that SmackDown Divas locker room. I think she'll be the new associate of Michelle McCool. That's what I think is going to happen. She's going to associate herself with Michelle, or she's going to associate with Layla. It all depends on whether it's Layla or Michelle they decide to turn face, so we'll find out. But it looks like it's going to be Layla, so they're going to turn face, so it looks like Michelle's going to probably have a new associate in Alicia. William Regal, drafted to SmackDown, could probably play a good, decent heel in what could be his last run as an active competitor. So, I really think if this is his last run, they're going to do with him what they'll probably do with Mark Henry. Give him one last major push in the main event scene or upper mid-card main event scene before this year's out. Yoshi Tatsu to SmackDown. This really shouldn't be much of a surprise because if you think back a couple weeks ago when Christian won the Battle Royal to get a shot at the world title this Sunday, Yoshi Tatsu was there. Why was he in that Battle Royal when he's a part of Raw at that time? So if he was there, it obviously makes no sense why he was drafted to SmackDown if he was already there, but apparently now he's officially part of it. So Yoshi Tatsu now a part of SmackDown in a more official capacity. So he may benefit for this. He may get a shot at the IC title. We'll see what happens. Drew McIntyre to Monday Night Raw. This is something a lot of fans have been waiting for. In fact, I've been hoping for it. Drew McIntyre, I believe, can truly benefit from being on Raw. And I'm not saying he can benefit from being a babyface on Raw, despite what some people may say. I think he can benefit from being a top heel on Raw. Because think about it. If the anonymous GM is who we think it could be, or is one of the top candidates of who we think it could be, Drew McIntyre can benefit from that. Think about it. So, Drew McIntyre, I think, is really going to benefit from being in the main event scene again, thanks to being on Raw. Being one of the top heels, I believe. Natalya to SmackDown, I think she's there to help out, give credibility back to the SmackDown Divas locker room. And I think she'll be more of an associate with maybe Layla, help her out a little bit. Kurt Hawkins to Raw. He's more of a lower, sort of a mid-card guy, so I really don't see him going anywhere much besides being still mid-card. Maybe he'll get a possible upper mid-card push in the near future if they decide to do it that way. Well, we'll see what happens. Chris Masters drafted to Raw. Chris Masters, a lot of people are up in the air about Chris. They're not really sure if he's really going to benefit much from this move. Honestly, I think he is going to benefit in a way because some people are saying you don't have that many baby faces on Raw. Well, it's true, you don't. So I believe Chris Masters can really benefit from his being drafted to Raw as a babyface. Because think about it, you need a strong, well, not strong, pop-wise, charisma and all that wise. You need a strong physical-wise babyface, someone that, let's say you want to put him in the ring with the Miz. Miz will not want to get in the ring with because he has the master lock. So, yeah, I truly think Chris Masters could benefit in a way, possibly get an upper mid-card slot down, for most of the year, and maybe have a shot or two, at the main event scene before the year's out. Of course, I mentioned Jey Uso. He's already on. He's on SmackDown now. Kofi Kingston to Raw. I was watching the Off the Rope show and their review of the supplemental draft, and the Schleg Daddy guy, he was laughing like he was going through the boom, 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 get me the fuck off a SmackDown deal. And the reason he said that is because we all know because of all the backstage history we've heard that's been between Kofi and Randy, so it only makes sense to get Kofi off of SmackDown, well, because Randy's now there. And Kofi, I believe, can also benefit. I believe Kofi's going to be shot right up there into the upper mid-card, into the upper mid-card, low main event scene, if you will. So he might be one of those guys that after The Miz loses the WWE title, whenever it may be, maybe this Sunday, maybe next month or whenever, he may be one of those guys that in The Miz's first match as former champion will lose to Kofi Kingston. That's who I think that's how Kofi's going to benefit in a way. He'll be one of the first guys to beat Miz after Miz loses the title. That's what I truly believe. So I believe he and Chris Masters are going to benefit from being top baby faces on the show so they can even things out. Ted DiBiase to SmackDown. A lot of people feel Ted DiBiase should benefit as a babyface now on SmackDown. He might, but I think they might keep him as a heel, and they're going to probably finally get him in that upper mid-card level. Because you see, like I said, some people like Daniel Bryan, like I mentioned at the beginning, Daniel Bryan, Ted DiBiase's in the same boat. Change of scenery and all that can really help reevaluate, revamp him in some way, and give him a better shot. Basically, what SmackDown is, basically when they go to a place like SmackDown and they're given that shot to revamp himself and have more opportunity, it's basically a way for people, for the WWE offices, you know, the WWE officials, the upper brass, to look at them and say, okay, you know, they finally proven themselves. Look at them and say, okay, these guys have finally proven themselves. They have finally proved they're worthy. Maybe it's time we move them back to the A show or the flagship show, which is Raw. And that's why, you know, guys like Daniel Bryan and now Ted DiBiase are there, so they can revamp themselves, reprove themselves, and when that opportunity finally comes next year, if there's another draft, they can go back to Raw. Okay, we got Tyson Kidd going to SmackDown. I think Tyson Kidd can benefit from a mid to upper mid card slot, and I think he can benefit possibly with a run, or at least a contendership, if you will, for the Intercontinental Championship, which I believe is still going to remain on SmackDown with Wade Barrett, but I believe he can definitely benefit from that. Okay, now we got Tamina, of course I mentioned earlier, is drafted to SmackDown. Tyler Rex drafted to Raw. Tyler Rex, everybody's been when he was on SmackDown, a lot of people said he was sort of like the unknown, not much was known about him. I believe Tyler Rex can really benefit. I'll go on record right now. Tyler Rex is my dark horse to be in the top, in the upper mid card, at least the main event picture before this year's out on Raw. He's my dark horse. Though don't overlook him. He's a dark horse right there. He's going to surprise you if they keep him around. Then we have Alex Riley to SmackDown. I mentioned this in my projections and prediction video. I believe Alex Riley can benefit from this. I believe he can be one of the top heels on SmackDown, and I believe he's going to be in the title picture before this year's out. Beth Phoenix to Raw. No surprise here because they want to have somebody that's at least strong enough to match up physically and strength-wise with Karam, or Kong, whatever you want to call her, when she arrives. So it's no surprise Beth Phoenix going there. And Sheamus going to SmackDown. Sheamus, of course, right now is still a United States champion, but apparently we might get a U.S. title match this Sunday between him and Kingston. Maybe, I'm saying. And what does this also mean? It means Sheamus is now going to have a shot to be world champion, just like I mentioned in my projections and predictions videos. I believe this is going to benefit Sheamus, and he's going to be in the title picture right off the bat, no doubt about it. Whether he loses this U.S. title down very, very soon or not, which he probably will. But Sheamus is really going to benefit, and don't be surprised if he's in the world title picture sooner than you think. So overall, this was a this supplemental draft, I have to say, was a lot better than last night's draft, and that's all I could say. We'll just have to see what happens. So I'll talk to you later.